Welcome back. 8:45 is the time. I think this is a very fitting topic for today with 9/11 on the mind, 1 year since Hurricane Francine, plus all of the economic uncertainty, political unrest right now with recent shootings yesterday, plus the usual day-to-day stressors that all of us deal with that can cause stress and anxiety. So we have the director of the Center for Sexual Health, Dr. Eileen. She's joining me now to talk about ways to deal with mental health disorders, just get into some of the numbers so people don't feel alone.
Right.
Let's jump right in.
Good morning, Brianna. Yeah, we are experiencing more than the usual stressors right now. We have people worrying about jobs, about financial stress, about political unrest, about violence and terrorism, and even the usual marital distress. And obviously now we're worrying about medications and family safety and health. So I think it's important that people know this is very common. Anxiety has always been very common. It's increasingly common now. It's the most common mental disorder in the United States. 40 million people in the United States are experiencing anxiety disorders. Women are 60% more likely to have anxiety disorders than men, so they have even more. I think it's important, too, to recognize that this was supposed to be an adaptive mechanism. When you're stressed, then you have an increase in sympathetic activity, fight and flight mechanism, right? You can go out and fight the bear, you can run back to your cave, but you can protect yourself. But unfortunately, when that gets too high, then it becomes maladaptive, and that's when we get hyperactivity problems with cardiovascular disorders, high blood pressure, gastrointestinal problems. So it can become a problem rather than being something that's adaptive. If you are experiencing problems like constant worrying, ruminations, inability to sleep, irritability, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, and needing constant attention and reassurance for fear, you probably have what we call a generalized anxiety disorder.
Okay, good to know. And to know that you wouldn't be alone there. There's lots of people.
No, not at all.
So let's get into some of these. So cognitive restructuring, what is that? How does that help?
People think that the treatment of choice would be medication, but it is not. It is not actually the first turn to. You can do it in addition, but actually there's other things we can do. Cognitive restructurers, we all say things to ourselves, about ourselves that are negative thoughts, right? And the ones I hear the most common are, for example, things like, well, if I don't perform in bed properly, she's going to divorce me, my heart's beating fast, I'm going to have a heart attack. When you talk to yourself with those negative kinds of thoughts, they're untrue, usually, they're destructive, they're judgmental, they're critical, and they cause slow body breakdown. They increase your sympathetic activity as if you're in a crisis, but the crisis isn't real, right? It's just something you're telling yourself, so it starts destroying your body. So cognitive restructuring restructures those kinds of thoughts so that you say more realistic, not lying. I'm not saying to look in the mirror and say, oh, I'm gorgeous today, but something realistic to yourself. So when you talk to yourself and you say instead, I know what this is, I'm having a panic attack and I can handle it, I'm going to do my breathing and I can cope with it and I'll get through it and I'll be okay. When you say realistic things to yourself rather than those catastrophic kinds of automatic thoughts, it makes a huge difference. 22% decrease in blood pressure with one positive statement that you say to yourself if you believe it.
It really does help, something that you should be doing. How about mindfulness?
Mindfulness, as we've talked about quite a few times, it's an idea that you stay in the present. Most of us, life occurs in the present, right? You and I right now, this is real. But people are usually thinking in the past, and then that makes you depressed, or they're thinking in the future, which is going to make them anxious. So you want to stay focused on living in the here and now, focusing, breathing without judgment, without criticism, and staying current, and makes a huge difference.
I like that. I think a lot of people are thinking, whoa, about the stressors of the future and all the things they have to do during the day.
Exactly, and it makes you very anxious. Yeah,
okay, so what are some of these relaxation techniques you've got for us?
Relaxation has a lot of them. I can't do them in 3 minutes.
Okay, just give us the good ones.
Okay, box breathing, they use that in sports quite a bit. The coaches will teach them. Autogenics, diaphragmatic breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, I think I said, meditation, self-hypnosis, all of these things work very, very well to help you relax because you have this increase in sympathetic activity, so we're trying to decrease that. So, but you need to do something active. It's not a passive process. It doesn't happen easily. It takes practice, but progressive muscle relaxation and other techniques to help you relax will retrain your body to discharge some of that adrenaline.
Okay. And then I know it's going to be hot today, but it's worth it to get outside, be in nature. That
the data
helps
is
calm you.
really phenomenal. It seems like a no-brainer, but it's really interesting. When you're outside, it automatically decreases a lot of that sympathetic activity. Guess we're animals, we need to be outside. So even if you just walk around your building at the office, or if you sit down your front porch and put your feet up when you get home, do some breathing, look up at the sky, listen to the trees and the birds, seriously. And it makes a huge change in your physiological functioning just to be in nature and away from all the chaos.
All right, we have 30 seconds left. Social relationships, if you want to get that one in.
Social relationships are important. We're social creatures. It gives you a sense of connectivity, belongingness, relaxation, support. Be around friends, family, colleagues, anybody who's a good listener, not another critical voice.
We're out of time, but thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be right back.